Turn to tax reform. On this tax day, a new Harvard-Harris poll finds that 61% of voters expect President Trump will hit a roadblock. Only 39% expect him to get reform done. Breaking down this poll right now, we want to bring in the president and managing partner of the Stagwell Group, chief strategist for Hillary Clinton during her 2008 presidential campaign, and chief strategist for President Clinton's '96 re-election. Mark Penn is here. Mark, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning.
Characterize where we are. What's your reaction to these numbers in this poll?
Well, these numbers show that the president has an amazing opportunity for tax reform and infrastructure. Overwhelming proportions of the public really want to see taxes lower. 65% say they're too high. 68% think the IRS is doing a bad job. And these numbers, which we're going to break in the Hill, are 2,000 voters done over the weekend. But most importantly, over 70% would favor a tax reduction plan.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned the IRS. That was one thing that I wanted to get to the president with when I spoke with him last week. Why John Koskinen still has a job running the IRS. I don't understand that. People are up in arms about the fact that they've got people who targeted conservatives, and he's still doing what he was doing.
68% think the IRS is doing a bad job. 75% say the IRS is inefficient, unfair, don't apply the rules fairly. There's a huge opportunity here for reform.
So, Mark, is this an opportunity for Democrats to get on board with the president and Republicans and do something on a bipartisan basis?
Well, 91% of the public said the president has to reach out to Democrats.
But are they going to work with him?
Let's say he reaches out
to them. Are they going to turn around and say, all right, let's get something done?
Well, look, you never know till it happens. I worked with President Clinton in '96, and who knew that Gingrich and President Clinton would strike all these deals after attacking each other all day long.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Democrats want infrastructure. I think this deal has been sitting there for years. The public right now doesn't think Trump can pull it off after health care, but they really do want to see cooperation among these parties.
Who's the Democratic Party? Who's going to do that?
Well, look, there's a problem. There's several things going on. Will Schumer actually come out for some tax stuff and make a deal? There's a problem solvers caucus now with some Democrats and Republicans in the House that might want to do tax and infrastructure with Trump.
Mark, inside some of your polling numbers, you're seeing the president's approval rating sort of come back up. What do you attribute that to?
Well, we're going to see the president's approval rating about 48, his personal favorable about 44. I think the Syria strike was really well regarded. Most people favored it. But what we're seeing is men are strongly approving of the president, 55. Women strongly disapproving of the president. A growing gender gap in the country. He's about 41% favorable with women. This is a growing problem for his administration.
Interesting.
But if they got health care reform done, would that improve? Because, again, that was part of the reason that Hillary Clinton got hurt in the fall, is that she wound up owning, in part, the increase in the premiums. And women vote based on their personal family situation, their family's health. And that hurt her. Would a repeal and replace help him?
Well, look, most people want him to continue on health care, but the previous plan was really disliked by virtually everyone. And
but did they really know, though, Mark, what was in that plan?
It was sold very poorly. I don't think I've ever seen a plan sold as poorly as that. But then
you mean the GOP
Caucus,
plan?
Right.
Yeah, the GOP plan. It was like
Paul
dumped
Ryan
out
said, here's the plan, I got the votes, and the president just believed him. By the time the president got engaged, it was too late.
Yeah, if the plan was going to bring more freedom to health care choice, it sure didn't say it. What it was going to throw a lot of people off of health care. I do think that he's got to go back with health care, but he's got growing problems here and very, very severe problems with women in terms of the divisions you see in this poll.
So there's a new book coming out called Shattered, Inside Hillary Clinton's Doomed Campaign. It chronicles Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential bid. This is from the Washington Post's review of the book. On election night, right after Clinton called President Trump to offer her congratulations, she apologized to President Obama for her loss. Your reaction? What do you expect out of this book, Mark?
Well, you know, these campaign books, they all say the same thing. When you win, you're a genius, and when you lose, you're an idiot. So, you know, 50,000 more votes in a couple of states, they would have been geniuses like you never heard of.
But why did she need to apologize to Obama? Maybe he should have apologized to her for...
That's right. You're right. He should have apologized to Hillary.
Fair enough. Look, it was a big loss for the Democratic Party. Everyone expected that she would win. Very few people called this thing right. I think these post-campaign books make interesting gossip reading my own experiences, they're rarely particularly accurate.
But they all come back and point to particular aspects. But Hillary Clinton has yet to sort of admit that she ran a poor campaign, always pointing fingers at other people. How does that set back the Democratic Party in sort of having a true postmortem and then moving forward?
Look, I think the Democratic Party is moving forward pretty swiftly, and I think that they are turning the kind of anti-Trump movement into real energy for their members. Look, today, the Democrats are unified with a single candidate, and the Republicans, once again, have a whole bunch of candidates and can't bring their party together.
They're moving forward, but they're moving forward really to the left forward, right? Tom Perez, you know, saying that Donald Trump and the Republicans don't care about people and, you know, putting all these leftist agendas as their top priority. Are they moving in the right direction, you think, to gain broad public support?
Well, look, as you know, personally, I was a DLC Democrat, but I have to say, they are providing the party with energy and unity. And that is a lot more than the Republicans
have. So there
have.
is energy and unity, but except, this is an honest question, except for Stop Trump, what does the Democratic Party advocate proactively for?
Well, what does any opposition party really post? Right now, the question is, can the Republicans come together? The Freedom Caucus is bringing down the Republican Party. They really got severely hurt. They were making grounds against Democrats. And post-health care, the Republican Party is weaker, and the Democratic Party is stronger today.
I'm not hearing anything that suggests that these two parties are going to work together, that anything has changed in Washington, that suggests that we're not going to continue to be a very divided.
Here's Chuck Schumer. No!
Yeah.
No! No! For the next 4 years.
Good impression.
Yep.
Well, look, the behind the scenes, 90% of Americans are unified in a single question, that these two parties should work together.
But they won't.
Eventually, this will catch up to the politicians. Let me tell you, it always does.
You mean after they lose more seats in 2018?
Whether people lose more seats, but they get the message from the people time and time again. And this country is divided on virtually everything. More questions that split 50-50 than ever. The one question that unites them is these two parties better work together or else.
You're right. Mark, great to see you. Thanks so much. Great sentiments from you. Mark Penn joining us there.